Carol and Emily. How are you all going? It's a bit windy this morning, so I've plugged into a microphone, and please let me know if it's interfering. I'm going to try and guard the microphone, and hopefully we won't get wind interference. But if I forget, if I move my hand and we're getting wind interference, just remind me, let me know. All right, so as my early arrivals, you get to see the scenery from outside where we're standing, which is almost right across the road from the State Art Gallery, the New South Wales Art Gallery. So I'm going to turn my camera on just so you get a bit of an orientation as to where we are. And we're opposite a construction site. They're actually in the middle of building an extension to the New South Wales Art Gallery at the moment, adding a modern section. So right up there, beyond those banners, is the actual State Art Gallery. Hi Esther, hi Kevin. And the city itself is just over here. So I don't know if any of you who are with me right now were actually signed up to be on my sunrise tour this morning, rather, that I cancelled because of the thunderstorms. But look at the thunderstorms that we're having right now. I woke up this morning and looked, and there was barely a cloud in the sky, but it might be coming in. We might get a little bit of rain while we're here this morning. I hope not, but I've got my umbrella with me. Who knows? We came prepared. Hi Tom, hi Michael. So you're in New York, Kevin? Oh, New Jersey, beg your pardon. Is it cold in New Jersey right now? So it looks like we've got a good signal. At the moment the weather's beautiful. It's going to be another very warm day. Hopefully the rain's going to hold off that they've been telling us we're going to have today. 80% chance of rain, and it's just not happening. So I'm happy about that. But we're prepared for all contingencies. Hi Michael, hi Helen. So is there anybody here with me this morning that's new to Hago or first time with me? Just give me a thumbs up if you're a first timer. I'm happy to run through anything if you're unfamiliar about the site, and answer any questions about how things might operate. Hi Melissa. Well, thank you, Tom, for joining me. I'm happy to have you, and this promises to be a really interesting tour of the Sydney Botanic Gardens. Hopefully you'll enjoy it and come back for more. Hi Katie. Got a little bit of traffic noise here. We're on a fairly busy road, and we're next to an overpass. So we'll be away from all the noise in a moment. Once we get inside the gardens, it'll be much, much quieter. We've got this lovely morning here. These are the admin offices. We're an education centre. Well, thanks for joining me too, Kevin. I'm glad you could come along. Feel free to ask me anything. I'll do the best I can to answer all your questions. Just trying to juggle my umbrella, which I may need or I may not, but best to have it just in case. Hi Camilla, hi Janet, hi Beverly, hi Carol. We're getting up to mid to high 20s today, but there's a cool breeze coming off the harbour, so that's keeping things comfortable because we're dealing with a lot of humidity in Sydney this summer. It can be in the mid-20s, which sounds perfect, and then the humidity is really high and makes things very uncomfortable. Hi Sue. And of course it's just coming up to 8:30 in the morning on Friday the 11th. So February is the third month of summer for us. Hi Faith, hi Mary Lou. And it's usually the month that we get most of our summer rain activity. It's also the month we tend to get the highest humidity. I can always remember it was the first month we went back to school after our summer holidays, and we get all the rain in February. I'm going to show you these beautiful, beautiful, because I'm just not sure where we'll see them in the gardens. These are called grass trees. The botanical name is Xanth, that begins with an X. And this is the flower spike. So it's actually finished flowering. So it becomes a seed pod, massive tall seed pod after the flowers are finished. When it's flowering, it's covered in tiny little white flowers. And you can imagine the honey-eater birds absolutely love them. We also have native bees that love them as well. All right, so we're nearly ready to start. Who's joined me? Hi, Linda. Hi, Gia. Is it Gia or Gia? Gia? I hope that's correct. All right, so less than a minute to go. Hi, Martin. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can look at me momentarily before we start. So we're standing at one of the entrance gates for the Botanical Gardens. Me, I've got the sun on my face. More of the gates and less of me, I think. Staring into the sun, looking very shiny and red. Down for down. There we go. Hi, Judith. Still getting used to moving the camera when I'm facing me rather than the other way. All right, so just about ready to start. Linda, we're looking at a temperature in the mid to high 20s today, which in your temps I think would be the high 70s or approaching, probably getting close to 80. Hi, Edith. Okay, so welcome everyone. We're standing at the Woolloomooloo Gate entrance of the Royal Botanic Gardens in Sydney. I want to go that way. There we go. And when I get the camera off me, I'll show you that beautiful gate in full. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge that we are meeting today on the lands of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation and pay respects to their elders past, present and emerging. So let's turn around and see where we are. So this is what, as I said, is one of the entrance gates to the Royal Botanic Gardens. This one's called the Woolloomooloo Gate. And you can see that it says on one of the gate posts, the Botanic Garden has a date of 1873. I'm not sure what that refers to because my understanding is that the Botanic Gardens themselves date from the early 1820s. And here you get a glimpse of what we're about to see once we get inside. Morning, John. Hi, Mum. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Anna. We've got these lovely cactuses and they're stunning. Look at that beautiful bromeliad, or is it an agave? I think it's a bromeliad. I'm no botanist, I'm no horticulturist. I know some plants. So if you want to know a specific plant, I will try and navigate towards a information plaque and we'll try and identify them. Okay, so we're in the Botanic Gardens, which is on the edge of the city itself. The Botanic Gardens is an area of around about 30 hectares or 75 acres, and it's bounded by Macquarie Street, the Sydney Opera House and Sydney Harbour, and over behind me is the Domain Road, which leads down to Lady Macquarie Chair. So you have your own map that you can look at any time and toggle between the view that you're seeing here through the camera or the map. But this is where we're standing right about here. So we're standing here just inside the Woolloomooloo gate where it says you are here, and you can see the expanse of the entire Botanic Gardens. The tour that we're doing right now is really just going to be over here in the Succulent Garden, and then my second tour later on today will be over here at the Calyx and the Fernery. It's a beautiful day, Amy, which I'm very relieved about because they've been forecasting like 80%, 90% chance of thunderstorms. And we're watching the sky. The sky is closing in a little bit, and we're going to all cross our fingers that stays away for the next couple of hours. So we're going to slowly make our way over towards the Succulent Garden, and I'll pan slowly as we go, really just to take in the expanse of the gardens and the views. Hi Anoma, hi Lisa. So we're passing, you can see that every now and again we're going to see a little plaque like this that will tell us what a particular species of plant is. But this is the largest botanic garden in Australia. Sorry, it's not the largest. The largest is at Mount Annan. Beg your pardon. It's the oldest. And it contains 27,000 species of plants from all over the world. So there's no way that I'm going to be able to tell you what all these plants are. But we'll have a really good look at just the beauty of the gardens. So here we have a nice fountain. I'm going to stand back a little so that you can get the fountain in shot if you'd like to. And you can see over behind the gardens on this side, oops, nearly tripped backwards, some of the city buildings. Hi Nicholas, hi Joe, hi Sue. Did I say hi Lorna? I'm not sure, I don't remember. Hi Lorna if I missed you. This is really interesting. I want to have a look at what this thing is. If I can get to it. I don't think I can. It's hidden behind some foliage. No, I can't get to that. What season is it? We're in our final month of summer. So we are not going to see beautiful spring flowers. We will see a lot of lush foliage. And we won't see any autumn colours at this time either. So over on the right here we have one of the older buildings that is now part of the Learning and Education Centre. They have seminars in here. There's an Australian Institute of Botanical Science is located in this building. So a lot of research happens in the Botanic Gardens. This is a beautiful gum tree, beautiful eucalyptus tree. I know some people don't know them as gum trees. And then over on our left here we have one of our smaller Moreton Bay figs. We're going to see some beautiful big fig trees today. But we're heading towards the Succulent Garden. If you want me to stop, I will walk fairly slowly, so you should be able to take postcards while I'm walking most of the time. But if you do want me to stop and return, as long as it's not, can you go back 200 metres? I'll try and do that for you as well. Good morning, Meg. Hi, Tariq and the Bears. How's everyone doing this morning? So just over here, right in front of us, Yes, Lisa, we have right in front of us right now, in fact, our newest discovery and oldest tree. What I mean by that is it's a species that was only discovered in a valley in the Blue Mountains within the last 30 years. This is the Wollemi pine, named after the Wollemi National Park that it was located in. That location is still a well-guarded secret, and this particular tree dates back to the Paleolithic era. So it was here with the dinosaurs. The yellow flowers, yeah, let's have a quick look at those before I talk more about the Wollemi pine, because that was absolutely a stunning discovery. So we had, so Tariq, did you do a meditation with Alex? We had bushfires in the Blue Mountains 3 years ago, and there was an all-out effort put in to actually protect the valley where the Wollemi pine occurs naturally. Oh, that would have been beautiful, Tariq. I wish I could have joined him. So I'll get up close and show you the really unusual foliage of the Wollemi pine, or as close as I can. I really don't want to step on the garden. So this is the Wollemi pine tree. It's a real dinosaur, a living dinosaur. Canna lilies. Thanks, Mum. So, and for anyone who wants to know more about the Wollemi pine, there's a little board here. I think that's too far away. It says, listen on Apple Podcasts. Why is the Wollemi pine weird? So if you want a postcard of that to go back to later, yes, perhaps not that exact tree, but certainly its species could. And there's a little plaque here that talks about how plant conservation is our mission. So we're going to move towards the succulent garden. Something's dropping blue fruit. I just want to see what that is. It's, what is this? All this blue fruit here. Just trying to see what it's coming from. It's coming from that tree there. And I don't know what that is. Let's see. The ground is literally covered in blue fruit. Try and get a little closer. Discovered in 1902 near Innisfail, northeast Queensland, thought to be extinct after its habitat was cleared for sugarcane in the 1920s. Rediscovered in 1971. All right. Still no clear on what these blue fruit are that I'm squishing as I walk backwards. I think that's a different tree. Blueberries, they'd be very big blueberries. Well, maybe they are. Maybe it's a different species of blueberry that I'm not familiar with. So the location of the succulent garden back in the 19th century was actually where our first zoo was located. They had monkeys here. There was a monkey house. Then that all got moved over to, I believe it's Hyde Park. For a while there were some turtles running around in the area until they died, and I think the preserved remains of one of the turtles is kept in one of these education centres. So here we are in the succulent garden, and before we actually move too much further in, let's have a look at where all these succulent plants are coming from, and how the garden's laid out. So we can see this first map shows you the world distribution of succulents. That's the red area. Not many in Australia. We have a few, but not very many. And then the second map shows the layout of the distribution of the plants, where they actually come from. So we've got the purple area, the plants from Madagascar, the yellow, Canary Islands, the green is from Africa, the orange, the outer circle is America. So let's go explore. So this on our left here, juniper berries. Are they that big, Debbie? I'm not sure. I really have no idea. When we can go back and have another look when we're finished in here and see if we can find out more. Okay, so I'm really just going to slowly stroll. If you want me to look closer at any of the plaques, just give me a nudge in the chat and I'll certainly do that. But we're just going to slowly stroll. If I spot something that I think you might find interesting, I'll stop and have a closer look. But really, we're kind of just here for the panoramas because it's just such a beautiful layout. Look at this beautiful, beautiful, amazing. This looks like a, what was it, a chihuly? The glass sculptures that we saw in the Arizona Botanical Gardens the other day. Someone posted. So is that the actual name of this tree? I'm going to try and find out. It's quite stunning, isn't it? Look at it. Oh, is that the artist's name, Debbie? Okay, that makes sense. It certainly looks like this tree, though, doesn't it? Let's have another look, another pan upwards. That's right, Tom. Yeah, it was in, was it Arizona? I think it was Arizona we saw photos from. Quite stunning. And there's another beautiful glass sculpture, probably by the same artist, I imagine, in the foyer of one of those 7-star hotels in Abu Dhabi or Dubai or whatever it is. So we'll just move around this side here. That's an aloe, one of the aloe plants. And looking back through where we just came, so that was the African garden. I'm not going to look over to the left yet. There is some quite amazing yuccas and agaves. We'll get to them. Some more aloes over here. And that one in the background. Living sculpture. Hi Maria, hi Rosalind, hi Sharon. This is interesting. There's something dead on the ground and something living growing out of the top of it. So I don't know if this is deliberate, the way that it's been done. It could well be. Desert plants seem to grow and live completely differently to everything else, don't they? I know that there's a plant in the outback Australia that just forms rings. The gardens are closed at night. They're closed at sunset. So it's the gates of the garden open at 7 a.m. and then they close at sunset. So these are the plants here that I wanted in the front of my garden to keep all the dogs that shouldn't have been in my garden out and people taking shortcuts. There's a big spider web over here. If anyone's not a fan of spiders, look away now. Look at him. He's guarding that position right there. This one looks like a kind of cactus. That's what I thought, Anorma. Yeah, that they don't deliberately remove the dead parts of the plants because new plants do actually grow out of the dead ones. This one here is towering above me and just has little plant bits right at the top. So this is the beginning of the American section, I believe. Hi Anna, hi Graham. There's some sort of finished flower with seed pods on the top of these ones. I'm not sure, is that a yucca? It looks a bit like a yucca to me, but I'm no expert. Tell me if the wind's interfering with the sound. I'm trying to juggle an umbrella that I might need with a microphone that I don't normally use. This one's in flower, and look at all the flower buds on it that are about to come out. Hi Cynthia, hi Ellen, hi Deborah. Gorgeous flower on this one. I'll get up a little bit closer to it. And this one's just like it's like a statue. Okay, I'm trying to avoid doing the vertical shot today because I've got things plugged into my gimbal, and it tends to go a bit crazy when you've got wires hanging off it. So if you'll indulge me, I'm really just going to go for getting back as far as I can to get things in frame this time round. I'm intrigued by the flowers on this one that's climbing up through the fence. Thanks, Beverly. Thanks for letting me know. Look at that flower. That's really unusual. It looks like something out of Futurama. What was that character with this sort of funny mouth in Futurama? Okay, I'm going to do a quick turn around 180 and have a look behind me because this is exceptional. That succulent there, how amazing is that? And then we have all those beautiful, what do they call them? The barrel ones. Oh, got a man in a little vehicle trying to get past me. I love these ones. My husband and I visited Joshua Tree in, oh gosh, it must have been about 1992. And there were tons of these little round barrel-y ones. I don't know where this one's from or what it's called, but a friend of mine had one in his garden and he was pruning it and then selling bits of it on Facebook Marketplace at $80 a pop. That's how desirable they are. Hi Maria. This is a great shot here. I'm going to try and get it without information boards in it. Not going to be quite possible, is it? There's information plaques all over the place. Yes, I visited Joshua Tree in California. We were travelling on our way home from living in London for 3 years, and went via the US. And I had a pen pal since I was 7 years old. Lived in just outside Los Angeles. We visited her. We visited Disneyland, and we visited San Diego and Joshua Tree. Hi, Christine. Look at the colours. Look at the variation in colour here. Now, these ones. I'm not sure if it's what we know them as prickly pears, that one in the background, with all the little budding fruity things coming out of them. And then we've got this one here. Looks like it's about to spring into flower. It's difficult against a light background, probably not getting the great exposure. Gives you an interesting silhouette though. And then this one here, look at the colour in it. I was here with my daughter the other day. She thought she'd be clever and see what was inside one of these things, because there's some that have dropped onto the ground. And for the next half hour, she was picking out thorns from her fingers. Silly girl. Very prickly. Okay, this tells you about how you can use prickly pear cactus for things like making jams and jellies. Tells you which part's edible. It says in summer, street vendors in the Middle East sell the sweet, refreshing fruit of orange and yellow prickly pears. The fruit must be peeled to remove the spines or ouch. Yes, you're not going to make me do this. There is no way I am going to demonstrate how prickly these things are. You'll just have to trust that you don't want to touch it. There we go. I think that's common sense, don't you? So over here we have what I think are agaves. Hi Renee, hi Heather. And they're tall flower spikes. Again, that looks like they've finished flowering. But that's an interesting shot with the sun trying to poke through behind that cloud. These ones are flowering. And that's very spiky as well. That would be another good dog deterrent from your front lawn, wouldn't it? Oops. Not that I don't like dogs, just that I don't like them doing things in my yard that they should do in their own yard. Different shapes, different sizes, different colours. Now, I did make reference to, is it manpower? We have a well-known TV personality by the name of Jamie Dury, who used to be a member of Manpower back in, I think it was the 80s, 1980s, might have been the 1990s. Even took their act to Las Vegas. Now he's a television personality. He does, garden renos, and he's a landscaper. And I'm pretty sure that he had something to do with this particular part of the garden. He gets a mention on Botanic Gardens website, but it doesn't actually tell me exactly which part of the garden he had something to do with. Which of the sabras, the prickly pear, is it, Lisa? They're called sabras. Yes, we saw them in Sicily too. This one's an interesting shape. Oh, that's interesting. That's actually a really nice analogy. I like that. Prickly on the outside, soft on the inside. Israeli people are called sabras. For anyone who might have the chat closed. And these ones here, look how tall they are. They're all coming into flower too. We've got little flower buds coming out right at the very top of them. We're getting lots of good postcards. Excellent. I love the colour of this one here on my right and the texture as well. Look at that. I'm going to get a little bit... Oh, my camera's trying to turn. No, he wasn't an artist, unless you call being scantily dressed and dancing an artist. He was a performer in a men's act called Manpower, and their act went to Las Vegas in, I think it was the 1980s or 1990s. His name is Jamie Durie, Durie. Look up old photos of him in Manpower. You'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, the wind's picking up again. I'm just trying to guard my microphone. I'm not sure what this one is or what it's doing here. It kind of looks like it doesn't really belong. Got interesting colour leaves though. I love this red one. And look at the fruit. Look at the fruit on that prickly pear there. Or is that a prickly pear? I think it is. Heather, stories. Do tell. I'll pause my narrative and you can tell yours. Oh, look at the bees. They are loving this. Interesting. That sounds really interesting, Heather. I think, Lisa, that they are noisy miners, appropriately named, and very territorial. They're a small bird, but they are aggressive and they manage to fight off much larger birds. I'm loving your story, Heather. Yes, it is. It's a really interesting juxtaposition, isn't it, Beverly? I'll get you another shot of that. You can see the sun shining on this one here too. There we go. Ah, so no secrets outside the group, huh? Oh, back there? Yep, let's go have another look. Tried to have you taken away by security. He was wearing a yellow Speedo at the time. Where was this, Heather? Was it in Australia or over in Los Angeles? Las Vegas. Yeah, it sounds about right. I can definitely believe it. I'm sure that is definitely um, probably a story he doesn't want told nowadays too. So this is the biggest yucca I have ever seen. I don't know if it's a yes. It's look at the size of it. I need to readjust my hand holding the equipment because my arm's starting to ache. I just wanted to put some clothes on. Great story, Heather, and thank you for sharing. There's another big spider up there. Anyone who doesn't like spiders, look away again. It's just up there in between the two yucca plants against the sky. Oof. There's a lot of looking up in this garden. It's kind of an interesting angle with these rocks. Let's see if we can get over here a bit. That spider, he is probably, I would imagine, probably about an inch in the body. I'm pretty sure it's an orb-weaving spider, but it's a bit difficult to tell. This is another angle of this big yucca. Look at it. You asking about the spider, Kevin? Okay, he was just back here and had a web between the top of these two yuccas. It looks like his larder is sitting beside him as well. Okay, so you need to look between those two yuccas against the sky and you can see the spider up there. Have you got him? Unfortunately, I can't zoom, so you might just have to take a postcard and look for him later. Excellent. Now, look at the size of this. I think this is an agave, right, folks? You guys, anyone in Americas would probably know this better than me. This is enormous. Look at the thickness of the trunk of the flower spike. No, that was the spider. Okay, let's try and find a spot where the sun's not going to ruin this shot as I pan slowly upwards. Looks like a giant asparagus stalk. That's huge. Okay, I'm getting the low battery warning. And this one's really interesting. I'm just going to do a slow pan around the whole garden here from this point. And there's this really, really interesting one over here too with, see, that one looks dead. Is that dead? Or do they go into sort of a dormant state? I'm not sure what this one's doing. I don't know if it's some sort of dormant state. These ones here have these funny little round leaves that come off the stem. And then the one in the background there, because it's so big, Hi, Akemi. Let's get a shot that's... where's the best place to be for this one? Trying to get that one there. Hi, Catherine. Might be best if I come around from this side. Got two really interesting plants here. This one is just all stem, all trunk, and then we go right up the top and we get just the foliage coming right out the top up there. And then the one beside it, I just find the way that the leaves grow out of the trunk really interesting. That's an amazing looking species. I don't know the name of it. I'm trying to find. Okay, here we go. This one is, for anyone who wants the botanical name, there's the plaque. It's from Madagascar. So it says its habitat is threatened by clearing for sisal fibre plantations and grazing by zebu cattle and mohair goats belonging to the local people. Akimi, it's just coming up to 9:15 in the morning in Australia. And Anoma, you are asking me to go towards the entrance. Yeah, I was actually just headed that way. So we'll turn around and do a bit of a pan. I didn't really sort of go around that side, but it was a little bit more of the same of what we've already seen. That bird though, yeah. That bird though, I think is he a raven or a crow? Something like that. All right, I'm backing slowly out. We're just going to take a little stroll into some of the other parts of the regular garden before I close off. This shot of the city is quite nice. Let's have a look. Thanks for joining me, Kevin. If you thought I was good value, please subscribe to my channel, get notifications, and come back and do more tours with me. I'd love to see you again. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hi, Judith. Hi, Essex Babs. Okay. So this part of the garden is the original first farm that the colony of New South Wales had. This is looking back towards the Wallamai Pine, just there in the little centre of the path. Hi, Arinda. I'm just making... You've actually missed the succulent garden. And just because you've only just joined me, Tiffany and Elinda, I will give you a quick little pan, but we've actually just left the succulent garden and we're going to sort of have a quick little walk just down the path a little way to see a little more of the gardens before I finish up. My next tour is in about an hour from now, and we're going into the calyx. Thanks, Debbie. Thanks, Alison. We're going into the calyx, which is an exhibition space. I'll just I can show you some of the succulent garden as we walk down along here. So this is the outside of the succulent garden that we've just left. Thanks, Akemi. I'll be looking forward to seeing you there. So the calyx is an exhibition space, and they're having an exhibition called Into the Tide at the moment, or Inside the Tide, which is really interesting. But it's interesting more so for the backdrop, the permanent backdrop, which I'm going to tell you all about when we get in there. So This is just part of the regular garden. The garden is, as I said, for anyone who missed the beginning of my tour, the Royal Botanic Gardens is the oldest in Australia. It occupies around about 30 hectares or 75 acres and has somewhere in the vicinity of 27,000 different kinds of plants from all over the world. It's a learning and research space. I think he's following me, yeah. There might be a few of them. Thanks, Beverly. The noise in the background is a bird. It's not the most tuneful bird. I think it's a crow or a raven. So if you enjoyed my tour and you're able to join my next tour in about an hour, we'll be at the calyx and the fernery, and they're both beautiful, and I highly recommend it. If it's not too late in your part of the world, please join me. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you again on some other tour. I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel, get notifications. Haunted tours I don't do. I don't go out at night. Look at this interesting tree here. Thanks, Beverly. Thanks for joining me. Thank you, Scott. I really appreciate it. And I think that's all for now. Let's have just one last final pan before I waved goodbye. And I'll see you over at the calyx or on another tour. Don't forget to tell your friends. I need more people joining my tours. Thanks, Akemi. Thanks, Heather. Oh, Michelle, I'm so sorry. Definitely join me another time. Okay, bye for now.